Okay, just to say we have a special visitor, a new visitor. Welcome, thank you for joining us this evening. I know that you have to run. Feel free whenever the daughter comes. Okay, so we spoke about in a previous show about the idea, how come that the person never satisfied with what you have? I never saw, maybe you saw, but I didn't see any animal, a predator or non-predator, that he's not happy with his 4x4 that he have, or he's not happy with the kennel that he have, he always want more. He's not happy with what he have, he always want more. I thought that's desire we have in us. As a human being, we have that desire. How come that we have it and the animal doesn't have it? Why are we not happy with what we got? That's the subject of the show, that's what I explained. Before we carry on, anyone have any idea? I mean, if you ask David Ezra here, the architect, you'll ask him, he'll tell you. He designed so many cinemas, this one not happy with that. So David have to fly to Nigeria. I mean, even the Nigerian want him, so you know. So. It's like a game, yeah, but why? I understand it's like a game, people want to improve.
The psyche of a man is to achieve all the time.
To achieve, yeah, that's exactly.
Whether it's money or more, but he wants to achieve. And that
Okay.
is not negative.
Okay.
It's only the way that it can even be you're learning. You know, that psyche is built in us.
So,
not in animals.
Okay, but why? I know all of that, what you're telling me, I agree with everyone. You know, if I have a cell phone that works, but the cell phone is 10 years old, and I see my friend coming now with the iPhone, the iPad, or the iPhone 5, I don't know what you call it, or the new Samsung 5, Samsung 6, I don't know. You'll excuse my ignorance. You know, I want more, I want it. I'm driving a Toyota, and Chaim Yankel drive a Rolls-Royce. So, how come that Chaim Yankel drive a Rolls-Royce and I drive only a Toyota? I want a Rolls-Royce, you know what I'm saying? That's the desire. I mean, nothing wrong with my Toyota. I mean, my Toyota can take me from A to B. It can reach the same speed. I don't know if it's the same compatibility, the same gadget, but it will do the same job in the end. So why do I want more? And now let's take the animal. A lion was hungry, they gone to prey, they caught, they finished to eat, he fall asleep. He see the buck walking next to him, he hardly open his eyes, he's so lazy. He wouldn't even try to touch it.
Because he's satisfied.
He's satisfied, that's exactly. So why are we not satisfied? That's the question. How come that the human being never satisfied? Where does it come from?
That's a different kind of satisfaction.
You think so?
That's food satisfaction. When you're full, you don't really want to eat anymore.
Excuse me? I disagree with that. I tell you why, Louis.
When you're full, you don't really want to eat.
You don't really want, but you do eat. And I tell you how.
I didn't say that you will. I said that you don't necessarily want to. But when it comes to physical things...
But food is physical.
No, it's
We'll
not.
prove it now. Yeah, we'll prove it from the Torah. We'll see that food is physical, number one. Number two, I eat in a meal. Let me tell you a story. When I go to a wedding, I eat 2 meals a day, usually in the morning and at lunchtime. Supper I can't eat, because if I eat supper, the next morning I finish a bottle of whiskey. I'm papalas, completely. So if I know that I'm going in the evening to a wedding, bar mitzvah, whatever the case is, there is an occasion, I don't eat lunch. That's me. But let's say that I eaten, and it's happened to me a few times. And I walk into the hall and I see, oh, all the food is for free. Listen, that's beautiful buffet, that's beautiful dessert. We're going to let it off. And I tell you what, you have a tot of whiskey. Please God will have just now, we're going to enjoy it. And Russell brought us today Black Label. Last week we finished, 2 weeks ago we finished a bottle of Black Label. And then Simon brought us Jack Daniel. Why? Why is that all the time we want more? Some people have more than one tot. Some people have 2 tot. 1 tot is not ganug. You don't want to get drunk. I want to enjoy the taste. So why do you take 2? It's the same. With the food, you're sitting on Friday night. and you're eating, you're enjoying your meal. Why you take more than one slice of kitka or 2 slices of kitka? I mean, it's ganug. And then the fish come. Oh, I enjoyed that. You know, this herring was good, huh? It was outstanding, huh? I'm going to take another about. Hey, ganug, there is a main course coming. It was. You always want the desire. It's make no difference. Food or not food, physical thing or not physical thing. Whatever you want to call it, we want more. So where is that energy come? If you want to call it today they're giving them name, energy. Where is that desire come to have more? So to understand that, we have to understand what the smartest man ever been born said. You know who was that? Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon. In his book Kohelet, in chapter 6, verse 7, he says something very interesting. You know what he said? Vegam hanefesh lo timale. That means that the soul will never be satisfied. Okay? So here he comes to tell us, because we have a neshama, a nefesh, we're never going to be satisfied. What did Shlomo HaMelech try to teach us here? Now we have to understand what our sages say. So to understand that, it's not so simple. We have to understand what the Mekubalim said. The Mekubalim, by the way, I never read it. I don't understand nothing about Kabbalah. But I read it, and I heard that also part of the show from one of the Rabbonim. And he mentioned that Kabbalistic, you can explain that. And he bring the Ramchal. The Ramchal, anyone know who was the Ramchal? No one know? Rabbi Haim Moshe Luzzatto. Rabbi Haim Moshe Luzzatto, he was one of the greatest Mekubalim that we have. He born 307 years ago. Sorry? One of his books, Mesilat Yesharim, Derech Hashem, you know, he wrote few books. Rabbi Haim Moshe Luzzatto, born 307 years ago in a city that's called Padova. Padova in Italy. That's where he born. He was a giant and Kabbalistic. And he explained it like that. And he said that the reason that as a person we don't have enough, we don't satisfy with what we have, it's very simple. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu given us a neshama, like Shlomo HaMelech said. And the neshama needs something. So we, as a normal human being, that we don't understand the logic behind it, we think if I get a gadget that called a cell phone or iPhone or whatever you want to call it, that will satisfy me. Yes, it will satisfy you for a limited time, very limited of time. You know, a person that have 100, remember that? Yesh lo maneh, רוצה 200. A person that have 100, want 200. Always he want double. Why? Because he think that those physical things that he have, that will satisfy him. That's what will satisfy him. Like we explained last week, when a person reached the age of 16, what the first goal that he put in his life, he want a license. We all wanted it. When we got the license, the next goal now is a car. When he got the car, oh, no, it's a second hand. No, I need to have a new one. No, this is a chalupa one. So you buy a brand new car. And that will be happy for a month or two. And then he wants something else. It's never stopped. So our sages tell us, the Mekubalim tell us, it's because we have what we said in Hebrew, neshama. In English you call it a soul. There's no other word to neshama. But a soul also can translate it as a nefesh, that you can feel. So if that's the case, how come that all of those physical things that I mentioned, there's many more, Rabota, there's many more. A person love when he go to Israel, you know, people look at the shawarma and look at the food that Israel give in the portion, they go, wow. Oh, this shawarma that I eat and that pita and falafel that I have in Israel was outstanding. I tell you, I never eaten something like that. Okay, so you tasted it. Now he want more. But you had. How much you can eat? I want more. I tasted this ice cream in Israel. I tell you, it was beyond. I don't know. But you want more. But you had ganug. Why you want more? So our sages explain it's the neshama. So where are we going from here? So we understand that we have a neshama. And I'm going to get to the argument, not the argument, to dispute that me and Louis have. Louis said that food is not a physical thing. But I'm sorry to say that, Louis, but the Torah says that it is. Where do we learn that? We have to go to the book of Devarim. Okay? Remember, check after me, please. In the book of Devarim, Parashat Ekev, you remember Parashat Ekev, where we are? Chapter 8, verse 3. Remember? Chapter 8, verse 3. The Torah tells us like that. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Almighty. Ki lo ala lechem levado yihya adam. That means a person can't live only on a bread, that means food. Okay? Ela al motza pi Hashem. What it means? That it's not enough that a person to make his entire life to live on bread. He need also to learn Torah. And here we're starting the subject. You know, today people call it energy. Many of the are found, I don't know, in this country it's actually not so bad, but in Israel, you know, after people serve 3 years in the army or 4 years, if they decide to become an officer, so they sign another year, many people decide, you know what, I'm going to take a year break, and I'm going to find myself, they call it, limtzo et atzmi, to find myself. Where did they decide to go? They decide to go to the Far East. And then they decide to look at other things because they feel like the energy that they need, it's not only physical, it's spiritual. So what they do, they take a backpack and they go, wherever they go to India, they go to the Far East, they go to China, whatever. And they're looking for all different things to fulfill this neshama. Some of them think that they find, some of them not. Our sages tell us, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell us, that you need a spiritual thing for the neshama to feel fulfilled. And for us to understand, after shiur of Torah, when a person studies shiur of Torah, he comes to shiur. If he can't study by himself, or if he can study with a havruta, shiur of a Gemara with a havruta, it's unbelievable. You can ask those people that study Daf Yomi. Am I right, Stephen? The argument and the fire that there is there. And you see that the neshama actually, you forget about all your tzoros. You agree with me? Nachon? You know this passion that you have, and suddenly you forgot. You don't know. You don't remember anything. You're so much into that sugya that you forget everything. You actually like a fire. You forgot. Your neshama is full. Not only that, our sages tell us that it's Torah and Gemilut Hasadim. What it means, Hasadim? Hasadim is kindness. And here I'm going to bring a story that I hear, but let me tell you. What is kindness? When people do good to other people. And I want to share with you a story that I hear from Arav Zamir Cohen. Arav Zamir Cohen is the head of an institute that called Hidabrut, that they're bringing people back to religion, amongst the other things that they do. And he told the story that he was witness to it. He was sitting in a taxi with a taxi driver in Israel. And that taxi driver saw that he have an external, he looked like a rabbi. And he said to him, I want to tell you something. I want to tell you a story. I don't know how many months it was before, but he said to him, you know, I was driving in Israel, and I was driving a lady to take her to her, wherever she has to go. And the next thing I get a phone call. And I see on the screen that that's my son. My son that actually serving in the army. And when you get the call from your son that's serving in the army, you usually immediately you answer, hello. You just want to hear the voice. And he heard the voice of his son, and his son said to him, listen, Abba, listen, Dad, we stuck in XYZ, there's no water supplyment. We're trying to get hold of drinking water, we can't. Please make us a favor. bring us few bottles of mineral water. It sounds very simple, נכון? Moti look at me like I fall out of the moon, but it's a true story. Because usually in Tzahal you don't have that. In the Israeli Defense Force, they make sure that you have enough supply of water, but mistake happened. I don't know what's happened, maybe the radio, the battery. The bottom line, imagine now the taxi driver immediately put the lady where she have to put. He said he didn't think twice. He drove, fill up the boots full of bottle of mineral water, and he's flying down to the south of Israel, wherever the soldier was. He arrived there. He opened the boots. And you imagine everyone ran to drink some water, how happy they was. He said, I stood on the side just to look at my son and his friends. And the smile that they have on his face, my son, and the happiness that I given those people, I will never replace it if people will pay me $1 million. So let's stop here and we try to understand. The guy bought a full bonnet or full boot of water, 500 shekel, let's call it. I exaggerated, but 500 shekel. If someone will offer them $1 million, he will never swap that feeling that he had with nothing in the world. He will do it again. Can you imagine? What is the man done? Chesed, kindness. That's all what he done, nachon? So how come that if you offer them $1 million, he doesn't want to swap it? Because his neshama got fulfilled. So our sages come and tell us that when Shlomo HaMelech said, "Vegam hanefesh lo timale," that if you want to reach to that level that your soul going to be fulfilled, there's only one thing to help it. What is it? Torah and mitzvot. Mitzvot, everyone know. You can do with mitzvot hasadim, and Torah, everyone know, to study Torah, shiur of Torah, how much is fulfilling. So now, I'm going to go back a bit, one step back to where we was, about those youngsters that go and look for different religion, different energies, they call it today. Some of them go to India, some of them go to the Far East, that it's part of the Buddhism, they're looking at all different temples, and they're looking for it. Let's see what the smartest Chinese philosopher say, and how our sages put it in one word, in one sentence. Let's see who's right. Kong Fu Tse. Kong Fu Tse was the most... Menachem, did you hear about him? About Kong Fu Tse. They call it Confucius today, am I right? That's his name in English. Confucius. Confucius in English. Kong Fu Tse, he was the greatest philosopher, the greatest giant that the Chinese people have in spiritual and thinking. And how he put it together. Look what he said. And he said like this. He said, Ashrei ha'ani shesameach bechelko. That means bless the poor person that happy, that he is happy that he's poor. Remember, I repeat it. Ashrei ha'ani, bless the poor person shesameach bechelko. That he's happy that he is poor. With his portion, that he's poor. Does it make sense to you? With his comfort zone. Yeah. But Ashrei, that means bless the poor person. Let's see how our sages say. Ben Zoma Omer, in chapter 4, verse 1, what did Ben Zoma say? Ezeu hacham, and remember who's the smartest person. And then he reach. Who's the richest person? Asameach bechelko. What does it mean? That bless the person, he didn't say bless the person. He said who's the happiest person with what he got. He doesn't actually bless them to become a poor person. He said you're happy with what you have. If you have 100, and I'm comfortable with that comfortable zone that I have 100, or I'm comfortable with my old Nokia that I can send a message. I don't have a camera. I can say yes or no. And with that, it's finished. That's me. So if you take the Chinese and you take the Jewish religion and you compare it, Look how our sages answer that. He doesn't bless you to become poor. Be happy with what you have. You don't have to be poor to be happy. To be happy is to be with what you have. Now, I want to touch a bit Shlom Bayit here, something that many of us have to look at it. Everyone know what is Shlom Bayit? Baruch Hashem, everyone know. Nachon? Many of us say, you know, if I have this woman or the different wife, what do you mean different woman, different wife? If HaKadosh Baruch Hu given you that shidduch, that beshut, that means that that's what you need. That's what it's good for you. And we explained last week, you remember when we spoke that women love to talk, we brought the Gemara, that woman got 9 measures of talking. We said that the Gemara said, 10 קבים של דיבור ירדו לעולם, that means 10 measures of value of talking came down to the world. 9 נטלו נשים, that means that 9 of them the woman took, and the rest all the world. And we brought a sample that when a husband asks his wife, please phone your parents, and please ask him, can we come for Shabbat, for a dinner, or for a meal on Shabbos? And she hug, and she hug, and she hug. And when she finished, after half an hour hugging with her mom, he said to her, no, are we going there on Shabbos or not? She said, I forgot to ask my mom. Remember that? So the bottom line is, yes, they got it. And we explained why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu given the woman that ability to talk so much? Because they spend more time with our kids, and they have to discipline our kids than us. Now, they done a statistic in Eretz Israel, how long a parent spend with his kids a day talking to them. Anyone have any idea? If you look at yourself, think for 1 second, how long you speak with your kids a day? Full time.
4 minutes.
How much?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. And, okay. Anyone have any idea? Come on, guys.
Half an hour.
20 minutes. Half an hour.
No, few minutes.
Few minutes.
10 total.
Also depends on the age. If you have more time with the younger.
Let's talk about younger boys.
well, spend-
How long do you remember spending with your kids a day?
I spend a lot of time with my kids. I was happy with it.
I'm sure that you're happy, but in average, how much people spend? They done a statistic between 15 to 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes a day we spend talking to our kids. Can you believe it? And then what is it? Did you make homework?
Did you eat?
Did you have a bath? Did you brush your teeth? Brush your hair? Wash your face? You put your PJ? Are you ready to school? You make your lunch? Orders. Orders, orders, orders. Now imagine that us. Now, let's put us aside, okay? Let's take the wife. Besides that she's a taxi all day, schlepping, coming, going, and you know, to drive in South Africa to schlep kids today, it's not simple. You have the taxi, the real taxi driver, and you drive now in Louis Botha Avenue. For those of you that drive, this is a mission. Now, it's not just to drive them to school and to take them. What about extramural? And then they come home, let's start homework. And if she have more than 1 kid, or 3 kids, bless them, where does it stop? And the chirping and the talking. Go do that. Imagine us. Now let's start with us. Let's look at ourselves. Do we have that patience? Can we talk for so long? Now we understand why HaKadosh Baruch Hu given that ability to the woman. So now we understand. Now let's move on. Just to understand how a person can understand to be happy with what he have. He come home, he want his meal ready. Certain houses, the wife cook. If she doesn't know how to cook, there's a maid, but she have to do the shopping. So where did she have a time? Extramural, shopping, taking kids to school, fetching from school. So she become everything. Superwoman, let's call her. And us, we go to work, we bring the money, complain, why are you spending too much? Why you talk on the phone? Why is the bill is too much? Why is the petrol so high? All day. Where is it ever actually stop? So the Torah tells us, Ezehu ha'ashir, our sages tell us, Ezehu ha'ashir ha'sameach b'chalko. A person can be happy only when he's satisfied with what he gets, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought him. If that's the woman that you got from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's what you need. You don't need more, believe me. You know, we have a chat once, me and Moti, about someone. And I said to Moti, you know, let me give you a background. In Sephardi law, a person can have more than one wife. The Ashkenazim can't because they have Herem the Rabbeinu Gershon, they can't have two wives. They can have only one, Baruch Hashem. Most of the Sfaradim today, believe me, adopted that halacha, they can have only one. I said to Moti, correct me if I'm wrong, Moti, can you imagine? With one we're battling to satisfy that. You have two. You remember that? So if we can't manage with one, sorry?
Between them fighting and you can rest.
Can you imagine? So we always want more. Why do we desire for more? So here's the bottom line, and with that, we're gonna, please God, gonna conclude. We want HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give us. We want HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give us health, to give us wealth. We want geld. Everyone wants geld. But we have to remember one thing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu giving us this desire to want more. You know why? Because when we study Torah, it's actually for the benefit of us. Imagine that you hear one she'ol and you're happy, and that's it. You don't need to hear anymore. It's keep you permanently, for the rest of your life, happy. How are you going to grow up? When you come to Olam Haba, how are you going to get your right place in Gan Eden? How are you going to enjoy? This world, they call it Olam HaAsiyah, the world that you can do. What it means do mitzvot. Because when you reach to Olam Haba, to Gan Eden, there is no more, you can't do any more mitzvot. You can't lift up yourself there. Today is the time now, is the time of the soccer, the World Soccer, the Mondial. And I'm looking at it. The other day I was at my in-law, I don't have TV at home. So I walked there and I saw this beautiful stadium. I tell you, I was amazed. And I see people sitting right in the top, and then people right at the bottom. If you look at it, how can you see? I'm saying to myself, this person spent a lot of money sitting right there, and you see maybe a little point that there is on running. I don't think that he even see the ball. I said to myself, how is he feeling compared to those that sitting right by the front? It's a different feeling. So I took that and I put it together. And now I understand what our sages said, that's Olam HaAsiyah, that here, if we do more mitzvot, we can come closer to the field that's sitting right on the top and not seeing no one. So when you go to a show, lehavdil, you want to see the show, you want to come and see it properly. You don't want to see everything blurred, you're not sure what there is. This world we can do only mitzvot. HaKadosh Baruch Hu given us that desire to do what? That you can do more mitzvot. You can more do gmilut hasadim, study Torah. With that, we can reach to where? Not only to Olam Haba, no. כל ישראל יש להם חלק לעולם הבא. But where to reach? To the place that you want to sit. If you want to sit right on the top, don't work hard. But the person that works hard and study Torah and do mitzvot, he wants to sit on the front row, to see everyone, to hear the Gedolim, the Tzaddikim, talking. On Shabbos we learn Parashat HaShavua. We give a show on Parashat HaShavua. We are now from Sefer Shmot until Dvarim, the end of the book. We learn about Moshe Rabbeinu. Imagine for 1 second, sitting and listening to Moshe Rabbeinu. Sitting and listening to Moshe Rabbeinu. Can you imagine that pleasure? But the difference is if you're sitting and listening to David Levy compared to Moshe Rabbeinu. There's nothing. It's garnished. We understand the difference. The difference is that when you listen to Moshe Rabbeinu, your neshama, it's in a different world. So it's come to teach us that this unfulfillment, that we always want more, it's actually a good thing. But you just have to direct it, to navigate it to the right things. If you direct it to the physical thing, so you fulfill your neshama for a few seconds and with that it's end. But if you fulfill it to the right place, that you get a pleasure and also get a place for the world to come, not only that you score, you get benefit from it. Can you take a scholar person, a big rabbi? Let's take Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai. You know, in Lag BaOmer, everyone go in Israel, millions of people, millions, go to his grave. Every Lag BaOmer people go to his grave, millions. Take the best prime minister or the best president that ever was exist in the world. How many people go to his grave in his yahrzeit? Sorry? Gurnisht. Nachon? Zot.
Maybe minyan.
No, not even a minyan. Even with the camera, with the photographer, maybe 3 people. There's no one coming there. Why? Because he was a scholar. We learned from him. We got wisdom from him. It's come to tell you, where do we get the chokhmah? Eze huwa mechubad? What does it mean mechubad? The person that, I don't know. המכבד את הבריות, the person that respects other people. If you want people to respect you, you must respect others first. You want to have a desire, nothing wrong with that. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created. Just direct it in the right thing. And if you direct it in a way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gonna want, please God, we're always gonna be happy. No sickness, no depression. You remember, Menachem, what you told me? Billions of people using medication for depression. Why? Because they're not happy with the physical. I didn't see many of the religion people that use, many of the Rabbonim that use antidepressant. The opposite. They given the energy to those people that doesn't have. They go and listen to the Torahs. They become the psychologists. But they learn they hear all the stories. That's what the Torah can do. So we want to get fulfilled. It's only Torah and Ma'asim Tovim. And please God, we'll see our 3 little young boys healthy and happy, please God, soon.